trade or this session is for my people who trade in the mornings. And so I wanted to talk about somebody asked me to make a video or discuss like exactly what I'm seeing, etc., stuff like that. And so I'm going to do that for you guys. And I'm gonna tell you how I kind of like mark up my area based on the trade I want to take or the strategy that I want to take. And so I go to the 4 hour and I literally mark up the areas that are resistant and the areas that hold support. So right here, we can see that this has been a resistant area. Like the market hasn't really surpassed this area in the last, what was this, since Tuesday. So you could tell that it's kind of been like holding this area based on these particular candles not pushing all the way through with a full body candle. This full body candle hasn't pushed through, or any full body candle hasn't pushed through this particular zone. So I will call this a resistance area. And the same with the support area. These particular candles since Tuesday again have not pushed through this particular area right here. And so I would say this is a support area for me. And if you're looking at this 4 hour time frame from Tuesday to today, well, based, early in the morning, you can tell that it started, maybe you could look at this and say, okay, it started in a uptrend, but quickly switched down to a downtrend. So you could say, okay, the market was in some kind of uptrend, but it quickly kind of did some type of pullback and we kind of went into a downtrend because it never pressed past this area. So now today, which is a Friday, what we're waiting on a red candle to push through this area, a full red candle, and set our zones to whereas we may think the market may continue to go. So this would be, I did have this one as my first take profit. I would say I will wait for a candle. Let me just clone this one right here. I will wait on a candle to actually kind of push past this particular zone where these two areas were at. Because if I start now, that's not a lot of profit, right? I want to see, and then I switch this one to the second take profit. Or let me see, I set this one to push past zone. My first zone, I could say first takeout zone with full body candle. We could do it like that. So I will did I put it did it change? Okay. So we're waiting for the candle to push past here with a full body candle. Now, many would look and say, okay, Khadija, that says 4 hours. Do I have to wait 4 hours for that candle to push past this particular zone? I would say either if you don't want to wait a full 4 hours. Let's see what time this candle started. This candle started at 6. So a full 4 hours would be the next candle, which will be at 10 o'clock. So you can wait and like that. You don't have to wait on you don't have to wait on the charts, right? You don't have to sit here and watch the charts. You can actually set an alert, download Trading View to your phone, set an alert right here for when that alert comes, then you could jump back on the chart. You could also switch down to the 1 hour candle, and maybe the 1 hour candle will come, cut you off, cut back 3 hours of wait time, and you could switch down to the 1 hour candles and or time frame and see if it's going to be a break and break across this area right here. You can also do that as well. You can also do that as well. As soon as you get that break above across this line here, our zone, our first takeout zone, as soon as you get that break through here, you can switch down, or as soon as you get close, it don't even matter. You can switch down to the 15-minute chart, and then you could say, okay, you could take an entry down to the to your first take profit zone, which I made up. My first take profit zone is here. My second one would be here. Now, also what I wanted to do is you have to manage your risk. So if you're saying, okay, I want to, let's give an example. Let me move this over here a little bit. Let's give an example if you're ready to trade, right? And you're saying, hey, once this candle breaks this zone, I'm going to take an entry. And today my goal is to make $1,000. And you're like, I want to make $1,000 during this first trade right here. Right. So you set your thing here and you say, okay, I need 10 contracts to make $1,000. And you do your take profit right here. Okay, that's 3,000. But I wanted to show you something. But even if you do up here, you gotta be okay with risking $1,000 to make three, basically. Just like that, right? Based on your zone. The less the fewer contracts you take, right? The fewer contracts you take, it lessens your risk. So if I took 5 contracts, you see how that does? It lessens your risk. If I took 3 contracts, it lessens your risk tolerance. So you just have to be aware of that based on, your goals or whatever you want to do. So you just have to be aware of your risk. If you're okay with risking $400 to make 1,000, then go for it. Just go for it and, let that play out and let it ride like that. So basically that is it on that. Another thing they wanted me to go over is the highs and the lows. I'm not so big on a high low thing. I just look at the market and be like, okay, I know it's there. I get so mixed up. So this is I get tongue twisted. This would be considered a high, right? Or a higher high. And then up under here, let me just clone it. Up under here, I can't even spell. That ain't even spelled right. Higher high. Hold on. And this would be considered a higher low. A higher low. Like that. That's exactly how that'll go. Higher high, higher low. Then this right here, because it's lower than this, would be considered a lower high. Oh, because this is lower than here, we'll consider this as a lower high starting to form like that. And then consider this as a lower low. So that's exactly how that works, basically. Like higher high, and then we'll consider this as a lower low because this low is lower than the previous. This lower low. So it's considered a lower low because this low here that this line is on is lower than the previous low. And this high lower higher. Lord Jesus, hold on. And I still ain't spell that right. Jesus. This high is, oh Lord, Jesus, I ain't spell none of this right. Jesus. Mm-mm. This high is lower than this previous high. So that's how that kind of goes. It goes just like that. So I just visualize it because, honey, let me tell you something. You get tongue twisted trying to explain it. I've never seen nobody really not get tongue twisted. Majority of the people do get tongue twisted when they are looking at the higher lows and low, stuff like that. So I always go back to my 1 hour to check because your lower time frames could trick you out. I'm telling you, don't really trade. Look for your confirmation of entry on these higher time frames. Like literally, if you go like this right here is showing me like a pullback, right? Oh Lord, no, 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 no. The oh Lord, y'all. So this is showing me not a pullback, but this is showing me that this candle is, trying to break through this zone, right? And then you go to the 1 hour, and it's this right here. This 1 hour is the is part of that 4 hour candle. So if you see this 4 hour candle kind of trying to push through this zone, the 1 hour candle is showing you that it's red and it's still trying to push through the zone. So this right here is part of that 4 hour candle that we just saw. If we go to the 15 minute, it's the same thing. This 15 minute is part of the 4 hour and a part of the 1 hour candle. So I don't want you to get confused with that. But any you look and say, okay, well this 1 hour candle has went on and pushed through, push past this, basically this, because this is a rejection. So what sellers would do or buyers would do is they would push on past here to here because they know people have their stop loss or their entries or whatever the case they want to do right here. I would say stop loss. They have a stop loss here, and then buyers would come in and grab all of this liquidity and then push the market back up, just like that. And so, what I like to see is a full candle past this particular zone. I have to see a full candle. I can even kind of move this up a little bit, but I like to see a full bodied candle past this particular zone on the on any of them. It doesn't matter because I've been psyched out before. And I wanted just to show you guys this little bit. So I hope that helped. Even if you draw a box and you're just waiting for your particular candle or the market to show you that it wants to go down. And if it doesn't and it wants to go reverse, then you get in on the reversal, but the reversal has to push higher than this. It has to push higher than our highest high up here for us to really kind of for us to really kind of for us to really kind of get in and take a trade basically. But right now it just really looks like it's trying to go on a continuous downtrend with a little bit of pull back down, exactly like that. So I hope that helped a little bit. I will be doing more videos like this just to try to help whoever I can that wants to get into trading and wants to learn.